Got it. So we are live streaming on YouTube, but then I'm going to share the link on Facebook in the group and on my personal profile. Just cause. One sec. So, it's like, I do this all the time, but sometimes, you have those days where it's like things are just not clicking as fast as you would like. So it's like, come on, work, computer, let's do this. See. Oops. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started in just a sec. Sorry, just being a little slow today with the computer is slow, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm not sure. I'm sure it will be. Just a little bit slow. Oopsie. Oh, didn't. Okay. All right, so we are good to go. Let me hit record. I am here. I'm gonna get started here. Where am I? We so get into a habit of doing certain things, and it's like it's so hard to get out of it. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awakened Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And my good friend Brenda Lainof is back with us, and we're going to be talking about pathogenics and dissolving energetic frequency with light language. So today on the show today with Brenda, we're going to learn how many pathogens can be and are triggered by past life traumas. We're going to discover numerous ways that pathogens affect us knowingly and unknowingly. And we're going to experience a live light language pathogenic clearing. We'll be taking live caller questions as well from all of you. So you can, if you're in the Zoom with us, you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. For those of you who do not know Brenda, she's been with us many times. And so she's back with us today, and she works with numerous modalities and uses the most appropriate modality that is needed in the moment for you. If you have tried everything through the traditional medical channels, working with many other healers and alternative health cures, then chances are using any of the modalities in combination with light language can help you get cleared using proven, holistic, pain-free, drug-free healing techniques. And Brenda intuits the pathogen's strength and energetic signature and then works to dissolve and clear its frequency so that it is not impacting your physical body. So please join me, everyone, in welcoming Brenda Lainof back to the show. Brenda, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Lara. Good to be back.
So glad you're here. And this is something we haven't really talked about before. Right? I mean, we talked about light language, and you've done light language on the show before in June. I think you were here last, but we haven't talked really a lot about pathogenics, right? So can we start off by just talking about what are pathogens and how do they affect us and why do we need to know about them, and especially the past life trauma that was new to me. So let's talk about that.
I was introduced to pathogenic work many years ago. And so I love working with the energetic imprint of the pathogen by testing what it is and then going through a process of energetic clearing. And then a few years later, COVID happens. And then when this occurred and everybody was just all crazy with the COVID, it pulls you into different direction than you're helping people with the side effects from maybe the jabs, vaccinations. And so you can get very scattered. the pathogenic work is something that I really enjoy working with, because the reality, a lot of people are worried about pathogens. And so we can have these pathogenic imprints. And through the process of working many different ways, I incorporate that it's testing what is the pathogen, whether it's a virus, a heavy metal, a miasm, a bacteria, or like toxicity that's in the body. Where is it at? You can intuit that, find out where it's at, where it's held, and then energetically dissolve that frequency.
Mhm.
So a lot of times the path, something comes up, there can be actually layers involved. So you can look at this and you're finding, okay, now that's been cleared, and then something else surfaces. And it's really by doing a lot, like I work a lot, I work with many clients, and it's just simply by discovering on my own through my own past life readings and connecting with those that have crossed over. Sometimes you can absorb on an energetic level that pathogen. And I found this by going through the process and like, when did this come in? What was involved? Intuiting what that past lifetime was. And then a lot of times when you energetically heal and clear that past lifetime, when you come back to, okay, let's go see, is it here? Sometimes they can be, that pathogen's then cleared, but we needed to bring the past lifetime up to the consciousness. And that's what I found.
So how do you know if pathogens are affecting you in, in not a nice way?
Well, if you have such things as bacteria, herpes, say shingles, a virus, fungal, parasites, we all know when we have something not quite right. We all have pathogens at one point in time. So we all are dealing with heavy metals. So you have maybe been told, gee, you've got candida. Maybe you've got some type of parasite that you were told that maybe you got a fluke. Mm-hmm. So, we know this. We go to the doctor, oh yeah, you have this or you have that. And the wonderful thing about this is that we come at it at our angle doing the energy work, and you're testing and muscle testing, what is it? And then with the light language, which is another obviously major factor, is I'm just asking and connecting and then just allowing that light language to help heal and clear, dissolve what needs to be dissolved. Mm-hmm. So whether it's a past lifetime related to the energetic imprint of that pathogen, whatever that is, and just allowing. And then at the same time, I'm also dowsing. So I bring in and mentally bringing in. So it's just really combining the methods that you pick up over the last 20 years anyways, and just combining it all. And pathogens is such a big topic right now, of course. Many of us are now concerned about, maybe we've heard of effects of having, the vaccination. And so that information is now starting to come out. And that's where I really wanted to go today, is to help people with one major area that can affect us. And really, it's not just from vaccinations, but, we can have detrimental effects from the vaccinations, but from what's in the air. Chemtrails, I think most people realize that chemtrails, they do exist. Mm-hmm. And, we can see them with our eye. We were told years ago, I certainly was, a conspiracy theory. Everything is a conspiracy theory until it's not, right. And so we just have to keep moving ahead And so today, what I thought I would do, Alara, is do some clearing for graphene oxide, talk about that for a bit, and how we can have it in our body, and then do some clearing, and then as a part one, and then a part two, just doing some download of the good stuff that we need to do, the enhancing and downloading the pathogenic light language.
Sounds good. Awesome. And so what kind of questions can and should people ask you today?
I think once we're finished with this clearing that everybody's going to receive by listening today, then questions is that maybe you're not feeling right. You know, is there a pathogen involved? And there may or may not be. I mean, this is the beauty of working with so many systems over the years. But if there is, perhaps that's something that, you know, can come up today and we can look at it. So there's a lot of areas that we can go, you know, we can look at, but if you're not feeling quite right, you know, let's look at that and see where we go with that. There may or may not be a pathogen involved, but that's something I can definitely look at. And just to keep note that we can have the energy of the pathogen, not the physical pathogen. It could be the energy of the pathogen. And that's what we can bring in from past lives, from our ancestors. You know, we can inherit that. Perhaps we're connected to the collective and we have that energy of a particular pathogen.
Okay. Interesting.
So this is what I would suggest. Let's just go through the process of this clearing of the graphene oxide. So knowing that pathogenics, this isn't just for human beings. Animals, our fur babies, absolutely. So I think all of us know that you can work with human beings or animals in the same way, and by the process of muscle testing and determining where it's at. So that's the beauty of, as we know, of being able to self-test. And you know, it's really combining everything, which is just awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So, cool. All right, so let's do the process, and then we'll go from there, and we'll take some questions. There's already some questions in the chat. And if you do have a question, you can raise your hand in order if you want to speak. So Brenda, when people are asking you questions, do you want them to be live with you, like speaking, or is by chat okay as well?
Chat is fine.
Okay, perfect. So you can, you know, you can either raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. Okay.
Right.
Perfect. All right. So so let's talk a little bit more about this process, what's involved, what you're going to do, what we can expect.
Okay. So I'm going to be just talking a bit about graphene oxide. It's really coming to the forefront now. And I'm going to be passing on what I'm reading, what I'm hearing, what I have tested with other people, with my clients. So it has been said that recently this graphene oxide, it has been found within certain vaccines, the major ones that we're all aware of. And what can happen is that once it's injected in the body, you can acquire this magnetic properties in contact with hydrogen and living cells. It has been reported, and I'm reporting what I have been hearing, that is also found in masks. It can be found in test swabs, hydrogels, and chemtrails. Now, the graphene oxide, it's detected in the body by our immune system as if it were a pathogen. So that's how we're going to be looking at it today, as if it were a pathogen. And once the graphene oxide is absorbed, it can affect our central nervous system, basically the spinal cord and brain. It can and has been reported to have creating blood clots. The heart, maybe you've heard of how it can have affinity for electrical organs such as the heart. So what we're going to be doing is two parts. The first part will be firstly deleting, and I'll be downloading pathogenic light language, and I'll be going through what we're going to be clearing. And then the second part, I'll be going through what we're going to be installing. So if you happen to muscle test, you could even ask, well, I wonder what percentage I have graphene oxide. You may or may not. But, just out of fun, just out of curiosity, you may ask that question, should you muscle test? And then we'll go through the process and then come back to this afterwards and see if things shift, if you're down a percentage or whatever that is. And I'm going to suggest, because we're all aware of energy here, bring in your family members or perhaps your fur babies, bring them all in with intention that they also will receive benefit from what we're doing here today. So I'm getting a lot of energy in my head right now. Whoa. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so we're going to begin. And I'm going to ask you to just get relaxed and take in the deep breaths, and we're going to be calling in assistance from Creator and calling in the light and only from the light to help us today and help us clear out anywhere within the body that we're holding on to this graphene oxide. So take in a deep breath now and relax. We're firstly asking Creator to clear away anything that's detrimental to the soul, to your mind, to the brain, spinal cord, body, organ systems, tissues, cells, subcellular, right down to that quantum field and matter to energy. So we're asking to please clear out anything that's detrimental. Amakashe sativu kuyananaya. Hayekokoshaza. Hayeta pekiyeta kaya jonana nanaya. Hieta pakai. We're asking Creator to please detox with ease and grace, to clear, dissolve, and dismantle the graphene oxide throughout all the blocks, the meridians, the chakras, anywhere entities are attached to this graphene oxide. Any type of weapon, any negative emotions that are absorbed and shared. Please detox now. Apakashisitia, apakasalanaya, ashieta, apieta kaisia shanaya. We're asking to release from the body every emotion as it carries its own frequency and vibration. So all of those emotions that we're holding on to from absorption of the graphene oxide, any self-judgment, anger, dislike, resentment, fears, disappointments, frustration, all that pain inflicted, including any physical or mental attacks on the body, that lack of love from the outside, inside. Ashish Pakasaya Lakakayata Kokoaya Bokoya, Ashanai Hai, Asipikia Tataya, Ashasananaya, Osha Lakiata, Apokokoya Sata, Yeta Nananaya Hai. Releasing all of those emotions, and those emotions lower frequency, lower vibration. We're asking Creator, please download for every person involved here. We're asking to please strengthen to optimal levels and download in the body. Strengthen the lungs, the immune system. Increase our alkalinity. And strengthen our lymphatic system, the mitochondria and mitochondria regeneration. Strengthen the central nervous system, spinal cord and brain. Strengthen and optimize the light channels and all the exit portals. Let's strengthen them now. The black hole regeneration. Let's strengthen the HGH, pituitary gland, and all of the systems now. Strengthening oxygenation and hydration to a cellular level. We're asking Creator to please download glutathione. So the body really requires that now. That glutathione, we're just increasing it to optimal levels, downloading it now. We're asking to fuse all pathogenic energy toxins with crystalline energy and transmute into healing energy, all layers. We're asking to download in the body divine love, forgiveness, acceptance, acknowledgement, appreciation, gratitude, and a deep, abiding love and sense of peace. Ashe sapaka shanaya hasaya toya, ashapana siya, ashatotoya sa, yatapa, asatokia tabokana naya baya, ashosotoya ta, apaka sanaya dai, shana nana nai. Giving gratitude for clearing out the graphene, and so grateful for clearing out this graphene oxide now. And every time you listen to this recording, knowing you're clearing out any layers or remnants of the graphene oxide, knowing you can broadcast this out. Apakasa shiata, ahana nanai, asapoko ishata, asatayata. Take in a deep breath and relax. And then just come back when you're ready. Maybe you just move your shoulders around or your neck, feel a bit tight. And okay.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't know. I was yawning through that process. How about you all? I didn't think I was going to be, but I was definitely, shifting energies there, right? Releasing and clearing. Anybody else do some yawning? Sometimes people yawn, sometimes people burp, sometimes people feel cold or hot. I'm still kind of feeling a little bit.
Yeah, I tend to feel in my head. I think it's from all these, and especially the last few years, but just I feel it in my head So if you feel sensations, that can also be where you feel it in your body.
Yeah. So hot to cooler, a lot of energy moving through the body. Yes, yawning and
Yeah.
clearing.
Oh, and yawning. Some people burp, whatever. No
Yeah.
right or wrong. However, that is for you.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. All right. So now what's the next? I'm still kind of like,
I understand. I am too. I am too. I think this is going to work for a while. So if we're feeling kind of, let's just strengthening everybody here and for oxygen and hydration and just downloading that in, because sometimes that can really help. We're actually strengthening everybody here to be grounded, 100% ground. So just grounding everyone here, bringing in that oxygen hydration. And that time tends to kind of help bring you back in and more center, stable and balanced. Just throwing that in now to your midline, center, stable and balanced. And that feels a little bit better.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we needed to do.
Beautiful. Good. Thank you. Yeah. So just take a deep breath, everyone. Awesome. Oh, so yawning.
Yes.
I'm still yawning. So there's still
Yeah,
stuff happening. So it's okay.
I
It's going to continue.
I believe it will be. And of course, when you're on, like a telesummit with yourself, there's just that many more people. And I don't know, but I definitely feel it myself. So if everybody's feeling kind of, oh, then, that can happen. It's working, which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome is right. Good. Thank you so much. All right. What is next?
Well, I don't know if anybody,
You want to take some questions?
Well, we could. Let's just see where we go. There's a lot of things that where you're not feeling great. So it could be, it's a pathogen, as I mentioned. It could be something totally, but we'll see. We'll just see what comes up. So if you have a question about or comment like, oh, this is going on, let's just sort of see what comes up and let's see where we go. I work with, as mentioned, like a multitude of modalities. You just pick it up after 20 years of doing this, and
True.
you just end up incorporating everything. So you're welcome to pop in and comment if there's something you're just like, oh, somebody commented gallery J3.
Good. So let's start off with Linda. Linda, you've got your hand raised. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Sure. Hi. How are you,
Hello.
Brenda? Thank
Good,
you.
thanks, Linda.
That was really
Okay.
wonderful. I felt really great. Yeah. Is there any way to unblock the third eye?
Unblock your third eye.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be checking your third eye or your pineal, right?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
I'm only getting that yours is open at 15%.
Okay.
So I'm going to be asking, why is that? I'm not, when I check in, because it's about pathogenics, I'm not getting a look at the pathogen, but I'm getting that there's some, this may not make sense, but I'm picking up that it's actually future trauma. It's almost fear of future trauma. So it's not like past or present, but future trauma. So it's like anticipating.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And we can all be like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end and blah, blah, blah. Nobody knows. Like, we don't know what's around the corner. So it's extremely whatever. And it's very hard, challenging to be in the moment. And this is the big challenge for me. And so we're not going there because it's not serving us, but it's actually about a lot of fear about coming into the for the future. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to be asking Creator to dissolve all the fear that,
Yes.
and fears, and I'm just going to say, because it's true, when we're in those lower frequencies and vibrations, we're more apt to attract pathogens. So just even knowing that alone, like, okay, I'm in this fear, I really don't want to attract any more than you may have that unknowingly are be holding on to. So we're just going to be asking Creator just to, clear out all of the fear that you may be holding on to, and just doing that now. So this is going to be a clearing for the chakra, the pineal, or sorry, what did I say? Yeah, the pineal or the third eye. And this is actually fear as to the future. And that can hold us and block us from living in the moment, which is a real challenge. I mean, of course it is. We don't need to continue to say why that is. So we're just asking Creator just to please download in anywhere that you are holding on to any fears to the future or memories. Actually, is it memories from no, I'm not getting memories from the past that's coming up, but it's just, fear about the future, about what's going to happen, in general. So we're just asking Creator, and we're just asking to download and clearing out and just dissolving all of those fears that you may be holding within and it's really attracted more so to your third eye. Your other chakras are not in balance as well, but we're just going to concentrate on that. And I'm going to be checking, and I'm not getting you're connected,
Great.
so can I ask you? I'm going to ask you if that's okay. Have you been
Yes.
vaccinated?
No.
You haven't been. Have you
Nope.
been around people vaccinated?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but
Very rare.
and this is, believe me, I'm not going vaccinated. I'm not going there. There's no judgment with that, but I am getting a disconnected, and that can happen. So, and I've seen this through working with people who've been vaccinated, and so there can be a disconnection happening at a soul level, and so that disconnection is what I'm getting. And then when we have a disconnection, that can create the fears, and then so there's that whole chain of things that can happen. So let's just strengthen you right now to being strong and connected to Creator. And we're asking for help from Creator just to get everything strong. So we're asking Creator to please download and all the connection to all the chakras. We want to be connected 100%. We're asking, please, to dissolve all the fears as to the future. For everybody here that has fears to the future, what does it hold for me? What does it hold for my family? What does it hold for me emotionally, financially? All levels. We're asking, please, to just dissolve all those fears. And we're asking to please strengthen everyone here to being strong, to being able to live in the moment and being center, stable, and balanced to live in the moment, knowing that we are exactly where we're intended to be. It's all in God's plan. Clearing away all those fears to the future, concerns about the future. Just want to strengthen you to be in the moment, being strong, to being in the moment. We're asking God to please continue working, to being more in the moment. And every time that we slip out, every time that we get that fear creeping in, to bringing us back to that heart chakra region, being in the moment. And we just want to strengthen you for having strong boundaries so that you are in the moment. People that try to pull you out, or, things that you hear about, the media, whatever that is, just like, being pulled out, it's bringing you back in and being center, stable, and balanced. Being in the moment and commanding that any of the fears that try to come in that chatter, that mind talk, just blocking it out. Apakasashi asanaya pukuya paka, ashanaya tse, ashosata. Ooh.
I agree.
I can feel that in my head, Linda. I don't know if you sense.
Yep, I feel it in mine too, but I feel it through my whole body.
Yeah,
all
you
the way
do.
down.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. It's interesting how we all feel energy. So, yeah, I feel it too. So it was a message for me as well.
Thank
Because
you.
we're human beings. How can we not be, it's like, it's snowing, we're in a blizzard. Oh no, watch out for the side. I mean, there's fears that come in. It's just so stupid. So we just no, we just put that block in place. No more fears.
No more fears. Okay.
No more fears.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what we could do. We can just install that let's install that, Ashley. I just thought of that now. Let's just installing, if you get those 3 words, no more fears.
No more.
We're asking Creator just to install that. No more fears. And every time that you can slip, because we're human beings, oh no, like blah, blah, blah. Just put your hand to your pineal gland. No more fears. Just no more fears. Let's just to make that a program. Let's install that as a program now. No more fears. So it's really quick and easy. You want a quick little tool that you can go, oh yeah, right, I'm going to do that. No more fears.
No more fears.
Oof. Okay. How does that feel?
Much better. Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah.
You are
Oh,
wonderful.
good.
I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. You just by doing this now, I've thought of something else to do. No more, we can create programs and let's get the shortcuts. We want to, our mind is just too busy with what's going on. So you just want to be really strong. And what can we do to help ourselves? And then, you can broadcast this out to other people. Go, gee, I'm going to broadcast no more fears out to, I don't know, your pets, family members, whatever, no more fears, going to broadcast that out.
Great. I have people that need it. So thank you.
Yeah, no,
That's a
you're welcome.
blessing. I appreciate it. Thank you again, Alara.
Thank you, Linda. That was great. All right. So Joe has her hand raised.
Okay.
Her? He? Joe, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, hi.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the new pattern of no fears, because my life has been based on fear, I think, for too long. But recently, I find that when it hits me, I literally drop to the ground, physically in some cases, roll up into a ball and cry.
Oh, wow.
It's taken me so far down in the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
And the thoughts in my head are, well, if I told a policeman, he'd probably send me to asylum thinking I was going to hurt myself.
Right.
That's how bad it's gotten. But the good part of it is I know what it is. I know what's happening. And when I get past that moment of just intense crying because my body and my mind doesn't know what else to do, I guess, I am better. But
Right.
I'd kind of like to not have those moments as often.
Right.
I take care of my mom. I have a full-time job. I try to take care of me and my husband and about 5,000 million things that I'd like to do and love to do, but I don't have time when I'm dropping down to the floor and curling into a ball often.
Right. So what's coming up for me for you, and this might sound, okay, well, I've heard that before, but I am getting persecution. So, we've had, I'm just going to ask. I'm getting over 1,000 times where you've been persecuted. I mean, who knows? It could be, and not just this lifetime on Earth, but in other, like universes or, infinite out there. So I'm getting over 1,000. So we have most likely all been persecuted. And of course, that's going to make us want to roll up in a ball. I mean, I was thinking just a couple of days ago, I was just so miserable. And I don't even know, I can't remember what was going on, but it's just, we get so much information that we're being bombarded with, and it's tough. So it's great that, for Larry to have these calls where we're having communities, and I'm all about having communities and support because we need to. So no, I'm getting a lot of persecution energy. And when I say that, do you feel that anywhere in your body as I just said that now?
I'm getting warm in my arms.
In your
Like maybe
arms.
some hands are holding onto my arms, and my stomach is getting tight, and I'm about to have trouble talking.
Yeah, I'm getting that you were, yeah. And then again, that might feel obvious, but I feel like you were moved around from place to place. I'm just asking.
When I was young, my parents got divorced when I was about 4 or 5. And then my mom tells me I begged her every time not to send me to my dad's for the required visitation.
Oh,
And she told me
okay.
the judge said that you have to go until you're 14.
Oh boy.
But I kept begging her every time up until I was about 10. And then I just started lying and figuring out ways to get out of it.
Yeah. Well, what's coming up is that there's a lot of resistance that's coming up. And so I'm going to be asking if we can help ask Creator to please download releasing all the resistance, that has kept you in chains is what's coming up, the word chains. So there's a lot of memory of resistance that's coming up. And we're asking God, we want to command just a healing for you. So, and just releasing all of that past and commanding an increase of healing. So let's just go ahead now and do some work here and with the assistance from Creator. So we're asking God to anywhere where you're holding on to any resistance in your body, whether it's resistance that's contributing to a pathogen of some type, any, bacteria, virus, or any heavy metal toxicity anywhere within your body. If there's anywhere that you are holding on to that energy of resistance, we're asking to please help move past that, all those memories stored in your memory bank. So all those thousands of lifetimes of having that persecution energy, being persecuted, and having to fight back and fight back and fight back. We're asking, please help dissolve this now so that we can be more in that state of now, like no more fears. We just want to be releasing anywhere that you've been holding on to, all that resistance, and that can cause so many physical issues. So let's just go ahead and we're asking God, I'm just opening up now to language. Asatana apokoyasa ashiyasiti hoiha hana hoisenia asena hai apokoyanai asiyatai. Feel very gentle, motherly energies coming through. Shasatna hahiyatai apokokasana shiyati Sanai Bokwasha Oloha Ihena. Letting go of all the bonds where you've been held down. Just envisioning, just breaking away. Breaking away, breaking away, breaking away, standing up, standing tall. and bringing back all those fragments of your soul and where you've been held down. We're asking Creator to please bring all those fragments back to one piece. Just bringing them back. Abakasana hieta, apokokushala hiedai, abakita kokapayeta, pokita pokoko, ayet bakayeta, papokita koka, asanaya, bokushieta, via sanaya pokoya, ashandisieta, asania huyeta. I want to strengthen you and everybody here to, we want to be in that commanding a healing, commanding. We want to command a healing and bringing that in, commanding a healing. Ashisania hai, apishisotoya, apakieta pakaya, oshasata, ashinana poyeta, yetkoksosholiatia, asia kokoya, apieto kokoya, asanana. We want to strengthen you now. Pashana, yeah, opokokoisatoya. Being strong to letting go. Let go, let God. Right down to that matter to energy, energy to matter. Giving gratitude of detaching from anywhere where you've been held down, where you're now standing tall. We strengthen you for your boundaries. They're nice and strong and assertive. Strengthen you. It's time to take care of you. You are the priority. You are the priority. And we know when you take care of you, you can then be in a better position to help out your family. Strengthening you, being strong and being okay and safe to take care of you. We're asking Creator to download to your heart chakra. Hamana here sabokuya bakanana. Esi shiti shiti baka. Asanana here totoi. Ashibiki kapasa. Ashisi hayenea. Oh yes, and I yell boy and I okay. Very, very loving energies coming through. Just like, oh, no worries, be happy. Oh, and a lot of tingling in my head again. See how you're doing, Joe?
I'm smiling. I don't do that very often. So
Oh, good. We need to smile.
and when you said you were feeling more of the motherly energies, that doesn't surprise me a bit because, if you're curled up on the floor, you're representing that you are missing that hug, that place to safely warm up, just be comfortable and not have to think about anything for a little while. So
yeah, exactly. That's so nice. I remember when I stepped in between two major surgeries, and then I thought, oh, I got to step into light language because I don't know if I'm going to make the next one. I really didn't. So I thought, I'm just going to step out and be courageous. And I was scared, but I had no option at that point. So I'm just like, ooh, these sounds are coming through. And it was my mother. She came through with just like, and it was like she was giving me shit. Like, quit worrying, you're going to be okay, you're going to be fine. You're going to, and I was, and I felt at peace. And it was kind of that same thing of just at peace. And just bringing in that motherly and very gentle, voices or sound and absorbing it in the heart chakra region. So awesome. I'm glad. Just we need to be happy. When we're happy, we're not going to be so apt to pick up, the whatever toxicity that's out there and because we are surrounded. There is no doubt. And the graphene oxide, as I mentioned, I mean, it's been, and I'm reporting what I'm reading, but I've also tested, but it can be in the chemtrails, it can be, but in our food supply. So the more that we can be in the moment, the more that we can be no more fears, we're going to relax our central nervous system and be just in a better state. So we're not, our body isn't acidic, you know, just overall, just we want to make things just calmer. We want to calm our nervous system down. So, and again, if we don't, yes, we are more prone because we're working on a lower frequency and vibration to pick up a Coxsackie, to pick up whatever's going around, to be more prone to shingles or whatever the heck it is. So it's really important to keep in that neutrality as much as possible. So good. I'm glad that you're feeling that little motherly love energy coming through.
Awesome. Good. Thank you, Joe. All right. So we're going to take some questions from the chat that were posted earlier. So Brenda says, does this method, your work that you do, work on spinal degenerative disease?
Well, what I will say is that if it helps with that, will I guarantee that?
Well, there's never any guarantees.
No,
in energy healing.
it's a process. I mean, I know my husband has diabetes and has some spine. So honestly, like it's every day I work on him. So I would say the best thing to do is learn to do this. And that's what I do in my one-to-one sessions. And I have a really cool method that I would share with you so that you can have this, you can work with it, you can start dowsing to build up your own spine. So that's something that I can show you in a one-to-one session. We want things like really, we want things to be like we don't have the time in our head and just trusting. So if you douse, I'd say, you know what, or if you don't douse, I teach you to do that, feel comfortable, and muscle test. So say you come to me, you want some help with the spinal degenerative disease. I would suggest, well, where did this originate? In fact, maybe that's just what I'll do now and just see what is the underlying root issue to this even appearing. And so let's maybe just look at that very quickly here. But I would encourage you to, well, I would say, yes, let's meet in a one-to-one, find out what's going on. And then I got this, I mentioned a little method that I would teach with you so that you can just work with it every single day as well. But I'm going to be asking at that level, but I'm going to be asking what's the underlying root issue. So let's just see what comes up. And this will be for Brenda. Is that right? Oh, no, it's from.
Well, the question's from Brenda. Brenda, is this for you or for somebody else? Are you asking the question?
It's for my youngest daughter. She was just diagnosed with this recently.
Oh, I'm sorry. How old is she?
42.
Okay, and what is her name?
Arena.
Rena. And do you
Arena.
Arena. And do you muscle test yourself by any chance?
I muscle test myself, yes, but I don't do dowsing. I don't know what dowsing is.
Oh, that's fine. So I'm just asking, what is the number one underlying root issue for your daughter who was just diagnosed with this? And let's just see what comes up. You know what? When I ask the category itself, I am picking up on a pathogen. Now, if you're going to, and I'm not getting that, I'm asking, is it a physical pathogen? And I'm being told no. Is it the energetic pathogen? And I'm being told yes. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to test with me on that or not, but I'm getting an energetic pathogen. So this
Yeah.
is where, are you testing that as well?
Yeah, that's where I was.
Okay,
I was.
okay,
feeling
no,
it, so-
cool. Okay, so let's just go down this path. And I'm going to be asking, is this some type of biofilm? What do you get when you check in? Biofilm. Those are microorganisms that create a sticky protective barrier. Is this some type of a biofilm?
Yeah, I'm actually seeing a haze.
Okay, so that's interesting. And I'm going to be, see, I'm not getting this from this lifetime. So just like, well, that's interesting. So this biofilm. So let's just see where we get guided on that. And I'm asking, do we need to know about that? I'm being told no. Okay, so we don't need to know, well, what was, related to that? A lot of times we don't, we just get, no, we don't need to know. Okay, so I'm just going to be asking, as you can see, I work with many things, and so I'm connected to many things here. And then we'll just check if there is there. I feel like there's a lot of trauma. So is the underlying root issue to this biofilm? Is it trauma? Is that what we're looking at? This biofilm. Is there some trauma energy attached to it?
I'm feeling a really strong yes all the way
Yes.
through my back.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, do you feel like, yeah, of course, she's your child, adult. Okay. So we're just asking Creator to please clear all the trauma that is, I can feeling that, I'm feeling the trauma. Shakanana Bokoyada Nana Hayushanaya Pokia Sokokoya Shapakaya Tokakinana Boya Satatai Ashapaka Shana Sokokia Tapakana Shakata Yepoko Isha Sanea Shokoboya Hai Yetaka. Releasing the trauma. Are you starting to feel that?
Yes.
In
Actually,
your body?
my body feels like it wants to sway, like rock.
Yeah, I understand that. Sometimes my body does that too. It goes, whatever that is. Okay, good. And you, other people, you may feel that as well. We're all connected. Yeah, I can really feeling that. Shosanai hoy shitoi. Habakai say shy. Oh, this is going to continue for a while. So this is a good indication of where we could go, And if you want to work for through your daughter, we can do that with her permission.
Okay.
So if you ask her, Hannah, there's this lady I heard about, blah, blah, blah. And or if she's open to it, obviously.
I think she would be open to it. I do.
Yeah.
I think she would be open to it. Yeah.
Especially because you're so intuitive that as you're, and I'm starting to rock as well. Yeah, it's good. Okay, and that obviously that was very quick, but that gives you a sense of like, like everything we're going through on a physical level, there's reasons for it. So if that even helped her 50%, I mean, I don't know, but if it did, that's awesome. Because what are the options when it comes to something like this? Like what, surgery, drugs? I mean, really? I don't know, stretching, like what did the injections, like, so by doing that, and as mentioned, I can also, if you decide to do a one-on-one, I'll send you this chart, and you don't have to douse, but I'll go through that with you so that you can continually work on the spine. Yeah.
Okay, great. It's really, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'll let
Um,
you know too. I'll ask her. I know she's resting right now. She actually
Okay.
just came home from work because it was really well. Actually, she came home from work yesterday. It was really bad,
Oh,
and she just
yeah.
had her first appointment today. So
And she
Yeah.
has to work with this. That's tough when
Mhm.
you're in pain and you have to be at work. I think we've
Right.
all gone through that. It's not fun.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Well,
Right,
good.
thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're,
Thank you.
you're,
So-
you're welcome.
Brenda,
Mhm.
is the arthritis question, is that the same thing, or is that a separate
Yes.
question?
No, it was with the same thing.
Okay, perfect.
Like I didn't know how it would be read. Like,
Yeah.
viewed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank
Good.
you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. This was very enlightening. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so there's still some questions in the chat, which I'm going to get to in just a second. But I just wanted to, because we're at the top of the hour, Brenda, I wanted
Yeah.
to take a moment and
Oh.
talk about the packages that you have for us today, and then we'll do the
Okay.
rest of the questions in right after that, okay? So I'm going to share my screen in a
Okay,
second, but I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Okay.
So alara.at/show/Brenda11. Okay, good, that worked, yay. So I'm going to just share my screen.
Okay.
This one. All right, so we have, this is Brenda's packages. There's two of them, package A and package B. And in both of them, well, in package A, we can use the gift code TACS10 if you'd like an extra 10% off gift from me. Package B, there's a payment plan available. And of course, you can also use the gift code TACS10 if you'd like a gift from me. So package A, Brenda, that's the 4 pathogenic light language audios. And then package B is the light language audios plus a 60-minute personal session with you, plus 21 days of light language for an abundant business program, right?
Yes.
So let's just talk quickly about the audios, and then we'll talk about the session and the business program as well.
Okay. So you're probably wondering, what's a business program got to do with anything? But it's amazing when you guys all know, but when you do the energy work, you just get ideas. And that's what that's all about, is just getting, information coming in. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. And it leads to one thing to another. But the audios are, now I've been doing pathogenic work for, I think, about 4 or 5 years. And it was a blur with the last, 2.5 years or whatever. But anyways, so helicopter pylori is a real common one. And then we can pick it up even like in the hospital. So what it is something similar to what you heard today, is that I downloading pathogenic, I call it what, pathogenic light language, to help that clear that out. And we can pick it up. It can be picked up, I don't know, spread from person to person, and it can picked up like bacteria from people that haven't had their hands thoroughly washed after bowel movement. So that's quite common. And I think people have been in hospitals, have to be so careful. Like if you've ever been in a hospital with that, you can pick it up. The medication toxicity. Well, I mean, who isn't maybe on some type of a medication, but there's toxicity involved with that. So this is a really good one to have, because if you take anything, a sleeping pill or whatever, that toxicity can build up in the body. So this will help just, clear out that toxicity within the bloodstream. And it's important to really on top of that. So, medication toxicity can create nauseousness or dizziness, or, I mean, we all know that there can be toxicity from medication. So that's one, just like, oh, I think I'll just listen to it, just play it. And then knowing that when you play it, you're getting the same results and that you'll be clearing it. Mold toxicity clearing is similar. Now, mold, I mean, my gosh, we can pick that up, and we can breathe in mold spores. So mold is very, very common thing to have too. So that gives you an idea of how we can clear mold. And because we have, like, I don't know, redness of the eyes, or coughing, or skin irritation, maybe a runny nose, difficulty breathing, then that is an example of many things that we look at. So this is giving you some really good audios to have as a sample of all the possibilities that we can look at to doing some clearing. Now, the Omicron, you probably heard about that within the last year or so.
Mhm.
So this is going to help clear out the variants and the subvariants of the Omicron. And some basic symptoms of that can be like a flu or cold symptoms or runny nose. So when I meet with people in my one-to-one, it's important to know, and this is what I do. So we're meeting on Zoom, we're talking, you're giving me your symptoms, and it could be that there is, as detected, just as this last example of a pathogen, and it could be a physical pathogen, it could be an energetic pathogen, and then we just go down the rabbit hole. And I love doing that. I love just digging and digging and digging and finding out where's that, what's related to it, and then we start from there and just keep working away and working away. So it could be that this, I don't know, Coxsackie came up. And so, okay, well, that's cleared. But then now that layer has been cleared, there may be another layer below because it didn't show up previously. Now that's come to the surface. So maybe that's that H. pylori for, and I'm just giving an example, but you don't know that because you can't see it. So sometimes it takes a lot, with going through and working through these layers to get to what's making you feel better. So those are some samples of audios. And then the one-to-one, and then what's great in the one-to-one, what I do is that you have your own personalized audio. So it's, say something comes up and it goes, okay, no, you've got a level of Coxsackie, and keep giving this as an example. You listen to that. So this is your own personalized one. So it's nice to have your, not just a general, but specific for what you're going through.
Awesome. So in the personal session now, what else can people expect?
Well, if you're really interested in learning more, I love to teach. And sometimes, when you meet people, they can say, oh, you've got this, you got that, whatever. How do you know that? I know about empowering. So if you don't muscle test, or maybe you're fearful, oh, I'm not doing it the right way, whatever, I guarantee that you will. And so, and this, if we get into more sessions, because it's an hour, but it's really important to learn how to self-test. And then you go, yeah, my body's going forward. I think, yeah, I know I do have that, or no, I don't. Whatever that is, you're feeling it. And just as that example prior, so you feel it, you know it. And then you can test, well, is that pathogen? Is that now, or virus, is that now clear? What I love to do, when you've got dental issues, I mean, my gosh, and you can't get to the dentist right away, there may be pathogens or bacteria in the mouth region. Now I can really go down the rabbit hole on that, because every tooth is related to a meridian, and I can go in and check. Is it related to the lung? Is it related to this, related to that? But extremely important, especially if we can't get to dentist right away, is to get out that any bacteria there that we may be holding on to. So,
Right. Awesome.
yeah.
So that's the personal session. And then the 21-day light language for an abundant business program. Let's talk a little
Right.
bit about that.
Well, so I came out of the corporate world and I was a mess. I was sick and I had arthritis, and I had to go on a leave of absence. And, you go down that rabbit hole and things come to you. So I thought, I've got 30 years of corporate experience. I'm not going to waste this. Now I've got all this energy work I'm doing over here. So I want to help people prosper. Like, that's really important to me. We need to prosper. So what it is back 2020, when all this stupid COVID thing was happening, I was thought, you know what, my light language, I'm just going to create a 21-day light language abundant business. It literally, I heard that. You know how they say you can hear messages? Well, I did hear that. And I started, and I didn't know. But it was like, okay, here's an affirmation. Oh, I attract clients, or whatever that is. And then you muscle test, which is, again, very important. Test from 0 to 10. I am strong for bringing in the right people to my business. Well, you might be at a 2 because you just tested, downloaded light language. And every time you listen to this audio, you're going to get it. So you're at 10 out of 10 because you're going to be testing. You can feel it. So there's 21 audios with each is different affirmation, as you can see. And you may get an inspiration like, oh, I think I'll see if I can be on a Lara's show or whatever. I would see if I'm going to be a guest and like do things you would never think you could ever do. You know, we would just want to be powerful because we're here on earth. I've had 3 near-death experiences. Like, I'm at the point now, it's taken a lot, my whole life, but we need to step out because we need, you know, of course, why not? So this helps you give that courage, like, oh, now I'm at a 10 out of 10. So that maybe during the day, you're getting that inspiration, that hit, like, yeah, maybe I can do that now. Or so it can help you, may not necessarily like your business, but like your personal business.
Yeah.
So a business can mean many different things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Awesome. I love it. So package B is also available. So both packages A and B, please do use the gift code TACS10. Again, package B is available on a payment plan. So take advantage of both of these or either one of these offers, whichever one is calling to you, whichever one is, you know, speaking to you at the moment, and work with Brenda if you can one-on-one in the package B. Package A is just the audios, and then package B is the audios plus a 60-minute personal session with Brenda, plus the 21 days of the light language for an abundant business program. That's quite a bit, right? And again, the gift code TACS10 to receive that 10% discount from me. All right. So again, these 2 packages are available at alara.at/show/Brenda11. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. I enjoyed.
All right. So Brenda, we still have a few questions in the chat. Where am I? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find them. There was one from Galaxy J3. Yeah, Galaxy J3. Spirit wanted me to know that especially the left brain has mold. I would appreciate some support. So we just talked about mold a little bit as part of the package, and one of the audio is part of the package. But is there anything that you can do for Galaxy J3 today?
So mold. Yes, by listening to the audio, obviously that's an obvious that will help you. When I check in as to the mold, let me just see. Yeah, I'm getting this quite high, about 60%. So you may want to test if you happen to work with a pendulum. That's also something I do all the time. So if you happen to work with a pendulum or muscle test, you may want to check, is there any mold in your home? I would definitely suggest doing that. And what we can do, I'm going to say this, is that we meet one-to-one, we're meeting on Zoom. So we can work together and test room by room by room and to see if there are any molds in the walls and that type of thing. I would suggest that. So you have your mold audio, and then and I'll work with you. And then we can go, okay, you know, is there any mold here, any mold there? Is there any mold in your surroundings? Now you know, and it may be that there isn't, I don't know. But that's a suggestion anyways to add on top of that. Because I was asking if there's any mold and to be honest, I'm not getting an answer on that. So it's just like, I don't know, but that's something if you're open to it, because I'm feeling like, yeah, there's some resistance on your part for even looking at this, to be honest. I'm feeling resistance. So I would ask, well, why is there resistance about even looking at it? So there's something there that I'm not getting clear on. So I'm wondering if we can see why is there some resistance. So I'm asking, well, why is there resistance to looking as to the mold? Yeah. So, okay. Oh, gee. I'm getting that there could be some, yeah, some type of entities. Now I love working with, not that I love them, but I work with them. So there can be some, actually, a curse is what I'm getting, that there's a curse that is okay, a curse. So it happens, you know, and we also can send out curses because, you know, we can be sending them out to people because we're human beings and not have good thoughts about people at times. So we can maybe, think of a person like, whatever negative thought, but I'm getting that this was a curse and I'm not getting that it was this lifetime. So why don't we just go ahead now, clear out the curse. If you're guided to the audio, then, you know, it's a nice one just to have because we can get molded anytime. So let's just go ahead here. And we're asking to please clear out anything that's related to the curse. And this is where I'm going with the pathogen work that I do. There can be a lot of things behind the scenes, not just directly that particular mold, bacteria, toxicity, but things that have happened like past lifetimes or whatever. So, and as I said, yeah, I'm feeling that this was the curse sent to you. So let's just doing that now. And we're asking to please creator to clear out, dissolve that curse and send it to the other side to be dealt with appropriately. Now, send it to the other side to be dealt with appropriately now. This curse that's attached to this mold. The resistance of even looking at it, there was such resistance, like I don't want to look at it. And that was that curse that was in place. So that gives you an idea of where things can go. How clearing out the resistance of even looking at this. So as this is clearing, you might find that now you're more apt to like, okay, I'm ready to clear it out. So it's interesting if there's something in the way that can block you from even dissolving it. So see how you're doing with that. It was very, very quick, obviously, but it's interesting what comes up, and we just unknowingly could have had curses sent to us. And believe me, that can be very much related to pathogens. So entities, offensive energies, they can attach to the energy of the pathogen or the physical pathogen.
Wow, good to know. Thank you, Brenda. And thank you, Arietta. Hopefully you got some clarity about what's going on. So Manisha had a question. She wrote in the chat, but she raised her hand as well. So Manisha, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello, Brenda. Hello, Lara.
Oh,
I
hi.
put it in the chat. So I wonder if it's similar to what you just said to the last person. I went to I live in London. I went to
Mhm.
Egypt nearly 6 years ago, and I was swimming in the pool. I've come back 7 to 8 shades darker than the color I was born, and I have no idea what happened. And I'm just not able to get back. I thought probably was liver, anger, etc., but I'm not sure. I wonder if you could please throw some light on it, please. I'd be grateful. Thank you.
Hmm. Well, to be honest, I am picking up on an offensive energy for you. So let's just see what comes up. Now, some type of offensive energy. Yeah, we have to be open to looking at entities and how they affect us. But I think your intuition definitely guided you to the fact that, we can have offensive energies. So just making sure that we're grounded. So let's strengthen everybody to be grounded and hydrated. And it feels very ancient. Like it feels like, and I don't know, Manisha, do you muscle test by any chance? No.
No, I have a pendulum.
Oh, do you work with pendulums?
Yes, but not. I haven't actually asked about this.
Okay. Well, what I'm picking up on for you is that there's a biblical dark entity. A biblical dark entity. That's what it feels like is, this biblical dark entity. So I don't know if anybody else resonates with that, or if you happen to test on that, but this biblical dark entity is attached. And it was almost like, I can feel that in the back of my head actually when I say that. Maybe I've got it too. So we'll see here. So biblical dark entity, I can feel that. Anybody else really feel that? I really am curious when I mention that. Do you feel that? Biblical dark entity. It's interesting. So let's just go through, and we're asking Creator to, anywhere that you have any contracts or promises, agreements, any oaths and vows, swearings, obligations, any programs that are no longer serving you, as to this biblical dark entity. We're asking to please to dissolve it, dismantle it now. Anywhere that you've been holding on to, any timelines, in between timelines, eternity loops, and so forth. So we're asking to please clear this out in its entirety, and again to dissolve it, dismantle it. Right down to that cellular level. Allowing it. Just send it to the other side to be dealt with appropriately now. So as this is dissolving, I think it would be really beneficial. This is something that just came up now, but I would encourage you, there may be, I don't know, more than that may be it. I'm not getting an answer. I'm getting just that's it. And that's as far as I could even go. If I wanted to test, I can't. That's it. So interesting. And just, I don't know, that's what came up. And but yeah, you were definitely guided to ask that question because I think you felt it, you knew something was there. It's what an interesting story is that you came back darker. Yeah. So I would encourage you to, to meet. And if you want to check, there's any other entity, because there's just so many. And I'm finding that with the very thin veil right now. And I mean, we all can get them even as we're sleeping. So it's important to, okay, check in. Is there some entity I'm holding on to unknowingly that's blocking me, blocking my business, blocking my whatever that is? So we can definitely look at that. And I also I have many audios as to entities, those specific ones. So within my quite extensive library that covers off, if there's something there that could work for you as well.
Wow, wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alara. Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
That was
welcome.
very interesting. And obviously you're very intuitive too, Manisha. That's right. Yeah. All right. Tanya is asking about Lyme disease. She said, I read it is karmic and it is a cause of a lot of physical problems for lots of people these days. And she said 5 years ago, she was diagnosed with Lyme disease, which caused arthritis in her knee.
I just posted a testimonial in my Facebook group actually about Lyme, and I forgot about it because you kind of saved them. I thought, I need to post that. So yeah, she definitely felt things shift within the clearing. So that does definitely fall under the whole pathogenic work. So that's something, yeah, you read as karmic. I don't know. I'd have to look at it, to be honest. Yeah. And just see if there's a path, this is, yeah, we need to spend some time. I quickly do that, but I would want to see if there's a pathogen involved, because right away I'm getting told yes. So that's where I'd like to check on that pathogen involved. And I know if you follow, and you guys probably all know about him, you may agree or not, and just why many people follow the medical medium, and you may know about him, but the Lyme and Epstein-Barr virus. So that is something I also work with. And if that's what that is, but we can look more in that in a 1-to-1 versus very, quick here. So yes, I do have a testimonial, to be honest, that I just posted yesterday that I pulled up out of my inbox. So yes,
Good.
I've had results on that.
Yeah, so you can check for Lyme disease and do
Epstein-Barr,
healing and light language for that as well.
Yes, Epstein-Barr, yes.
Awesome, good. So it's no coincidence, Tanya, that you asked the question, because she just posted the testimonial.
I know, it's fun how those
About
things
it.
happen.
Good, awesome.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Brenda, anything else that you want to share with us today? I know we've worked with a lot of people. We did the wonderful process, and even when you were doing the process with Manisha, I also felt during the healing part, I felt the healing. So it's like, even like, I don't have any entities. I don't want to, because I've had entities in the past. Like, nope.
No.
But you can still receive healing at some level that you do require.
For sure.
And entities are not always attachments or other things, or sometimes it's our own negative thoughts that are also considered entities as well.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. True.
I just don't want people to be scared of like.
No, not at all. No. No.
Exactly.
But I think it's important for people. Like, I think we can get overwhelmed. Oh, I got to learn so much, and I'm really into like, what can we do very simple? Simple as much as possible. Like just what came up earlier. No more fears. I mean, why not? Why not create a program?
No more entities.
No, well, really, why don't we look at and I would say this because things are coming quicker and faster,
Mhm.
creating programs and then installing it. So I'd say, well, maybe we can just create a program for this or for that, and
Yeah.
installing it, and learn to muscle test, learn to use the pendulum, sway test, whatever you want to do, and just test. Oh, has that program for whatever, is that now installed? Oh, gee, it still is. You're confirming that. Check the next day. You know, it's good because we're gaining more confidence. We're knowing we have had a big film put here so that we're not powerful. And I'm tired of it. You're most likely tired of it. We're tired of not feeling that we shouldn't be powerful because it's, you know, we're finding out it's not true. The
Yeah.
more we do these kind of things, it's just like, well, where did that come from? Of course, it's been around like what? I don't know, thousands of years or whatever. Like people are rising, women are rising. So it's just, it's, you know,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
whole, we are powerful, and we just have to remember we are, and create some simple things that we can do and just bring
And
in
it's
that
about
power.
living in our power, right? I mean,
Yes.
I know a lot of people say I'm taking back my power. No, we're not taking back anything. We never
Live it.
gave it away. We always had it. So
We
even
always,
that's a false belief that I gave away my power or somebody took my power. That's a false belief. That is not
yeah,
true.
right.
So
'Cause
just,
it's
it's like,
always there. We just got to tap into it and
Yeah.
feel safe to tap into it. We might not feel safe. Like,
that's
oh,
true.
I
Yes.
don't want to do that. What if I'm powerful? Is that fear? What happens if I'm really in my power? Is my
Exactly.
relationship going to survive? Like, what if I'm really healthy? Do I have to go back to work or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, no, we have to. We're here on Earth. I think we've all signed up for this, so we might as well be as powerful as possible.
Exactly. I totally
You
agree.
know?
Be in your power, live in your power, create from the powerful being that you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, exactly. I agree totally. Thank you. All right. So again, if you'd like to work with Brenda with the audios, just the audios, you can get package A if you want to work with Brenda with the audios, plus the personal session, plus the 21 days of the light language for an abundant business program. You can get package B, and both are available at alara.at/show/Brenda11. So Brenda, I loved how today, you were working with the pathogens, yes, but it's not just about the pathogens. It's like anything. Anybody could bring up anything, and you have a way of testing it and working with them right in that moment, and and
Yeah.
seeing what's going on, and then also being able to do a healing for everyone. So that was huge. I think you did like 4 or 5 healings, right? And if all of you are willing to receive, whether you have that issue or not, you can
Yeah.
always still receive the healing. And the healing is going to help you on different levels as well.
And broadcast that out, like, oh, maybe I don't, but maybe my sister does, or my kids, just knowing, okay, I'm going to broadcast that out.
And the thing is, like, we may not be consciously aware of it in this lifetime, but we may have had it in other lifetimes.
Yes.
Right. And that can still be impacting us and affecting us in this life.
Absolutely.
Just saying. So there's no harm in receiving healing, is basically what I'm saying. Be willing to say yes to receive healing and what is for your highest good. And then see what changes, see what happens, see what transformation comes to place in your life, and see how much more wonderful life can be for you.
Exactly.
So beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Brenda, so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you everyone for being here today. I do appreciate it. It was fun.
It was great. It went by so quickly too,
I
it's like, oh my
know.
goodness. So thank you so much, everyone, for all your questions. Thank you for being here with us live. And for those of you who are watching on the replay later, thank you for being with us on the replay. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye-bye.